Welcome to our last video for now about the pieces. This is the pawn, the little guys, the little tiny pieces. You have to use these strategically, okay? Don't get caught up in moving only pawns, which a lot of kids like to do, like little minions. Move all the pawns, and leave the pieces in the back, right? Gru can't do that, right? Gru never wins because all my minions are all forward. No, you can't use only pawns, but pawns can be very strong, and you'll see. They are like little kids or little minions that don't follow rules. For example, on their first move, they can move 1 or 2 spaces. Now, each pawn can move 1 or 2 spaces, not just the first move of the game. Each pawn has that choice. See, no other piece has a choice. See how they break the rules. What's another rule? Well, I've taught you how each piece moves. Why? Because if you know how the pieces move, then you know how to attack and you can play the game. Well, the pawn moves one way but attacks a different way. So for example, if I move a pawn 2 spaces and another pawn comes right in front of me at 2 spaces also, those pawns are right next to each other. They can't do anything. They can't push the other one or shove them. They gotta just sit there and like, oh, hi, I'm just gonna stay right here, right in front of you, I guess. Okay, all right, that's cool. Until something else, a pawn or any other piece, comes diagonally forward from them, then they can attack. The pawns move forward but attack diagonally. Oh, and remember, if the pawn moves 1 or 2 spaces, it can only then still move 1 space only after that each time. And can they go backwards? Nope, no backsies. The pawn is the only piece that cannot go backwards. So you better think long and hard before you make a move with a pawn, because once you make it, you can't take it back and move back. Now, something super special about a pawn, which is why I tell you don't disregard them. Don't say, they're not important. They're only worth 1 point. If a pawn gets through the pieces and all the war attack of the battle and gets to the other opposite side of the board, it can turn into any piece from the rook to the queen. It's called pawn promotion. It can turn into a rook, a bishop, a knight, or a queen. Now, you can't become another king. Only I and the other boys are that. There's no other king, only one king on the table. And you can't stay a pawn. Why? That would be like staying in the corner at the end of the wall. That's what they used to do when I was a kid, put you in the corner. You have to promote to something better. Just like in school, you always promote to the next grade level. Same thing, pawn promotion promotes to something better. The last move that we're gonna show you is a little bit strange. You can look it up more online. It's called en passant, which means in passing. And it started about 150 or 200 something years ago because of that rule of being able to move forward 1 or 2 spaces. So if you have one pawn that is at like the 5th rank or the 6th rank, which is right like 2 spaces forward, and that pawn that is right next to you moves up 2 spaces and doesn't give you a chance to think about whether you wanted to capture it, then you are able to capture that pawn as if he had moved only 1 space. But you gotta do it on the very next move. Maybe we could repeat that to show you one more time. And a good mnemonic a friend of mine said was, well, if he moves 2 and he's next to you, you can take him. And that was a compliment of my friend Chris Goldthorpe. And thank you, Chris. And one more thing I wanted to say is behind the scenes here is Mr. Anthony Calaluca. And I couldn't have done any of this if it wasn't for his help, my good friend and buddy and colleague, and the music and drama teacher at my school who's run all this for me today. I owe you big time, man. Thank you so much. So like always, we sign off with like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll check you guys on the chessboard.